Hey everybody, I'm going to show you how to do this. Put all this together. This is the bottom one, and I put the bulky one on the bottom, and it has a ratchet on it. Okay, for this toolbox, the measurements are about 17 by 7.5. All right, there is a ratchet there, and what I did on the bottom of this one is put a hole there, so the ratchet will fit in and everything will fit smooth in. There's strings on the end. I'll show you how to do all that. Okay, some of these are tight, but that's okay. I'm not ruining my work on the toolbox that I fixed. This guy goes in. All these are nicely organized, and no metal is touching metal, which is really nice. This is the top one. It fits just under the shelf. So this is actually a 16-inch long and fits underneath. Really nice. Okay, and I'm going to bring I'm going to bring the camera over, show you what it looks like when it's all done. Let's see just how high it is on the top. All right, this guy fits right in, and that's it. Now, typically what this is used for is going on the job. You take your tools out of here and you go do your thing, come back to put your tools away, and there you go. But what I'm probably going to do here is put my drill bits in here, just like the new toolboxes over here, like this guy. This is the insert for the new plastic ones, and it has bits. Your bits go here, different things go inside here, screws and all that. All right, that's how the new ones are. This is a 35-year-old toolbox I refurbished. I'll put the link here. I'm doing that. So let me show you how to make all those inserts. Remember something now. You want to, when you cut the wood and cut the foam, make sure they fit in there before you do the painting, before you do the drilling of holes and putting the laces on. All right, this is the toolbox I just restored. There's some foam. It's some hard foam. They can get at Lowe's or any Home Depot or anything like that. All right, you want to measure the inside. So come inside and look. That's, I'd say, 17 3/4. All right, come over here and bring this in a little bit and out. Okay, so come on the inside, look over here, and I see something like 7.5. So I got to write those down because we're going to make probably 3 inserts, maybe more of these, and I'm going to show you how to do this. And I'm hoping that this is 14 inches wide or more. I might actually have to go purchase some. So let me check this real quick. I'm not getting what I want, so I'm going to use this, and I might have to go procure some more or use something else. I like it all to be the same, but nevertheless, you can actually paint this black too if you want, which I intend on doing, painting all the foam black, so all the silver of the tools actually pop out at you. Well, the other stuff was too brittle, and it was not big enough for what I needed, so I ended up getting a roll. I went to Michael's, and I can't believe $20 for this thing. It's just crazy, the price. So I definitely won't use it all, but it is big enough for what I need to do. The other piece, though, gave me an idea. I'm going to have to make them shorter in order to actually fit them sideways and get them out because of these 2 lips here, which I really wish I can eliminate, but it needs to be there to hold the red one. Okay, after you make your cut, you're going to test it. Side by side is real good. Fits in there. We don't want it bending like that, but it's got a little room on the corner. That's okay. So we'll probably could fit about 4 of these in here, but we're going to do one at a time. We really don't know how much room these tools are going to take. We need to put something under it that's hard to make it stiff. That way this comes up stiff like this and then slides out. Okay, that's the whole idea. It's just have it slide out on the side, and all the tools stay in place. So that's it's not going to flex like this when it's done. All right. So we're going to get some really thin. You can use balsa wood would work. It's a really thin, lightweight wood, or really thin, like 1/8 inch or 1/4 inch plywood would be good too. Now, once you get your tools into place or your sockets and everything. Go ahead and draw an outline with a pen. Okay, so that's my outline for those. That's for this, and that's for that one. Got this here. This is the only one that's not Craftsman in here. And then these guys, I may just go ahead and dip down and mark with my pen, and an indentation about right here, and another one right here. So they sit individually inside there, so they're not rolling back and forth when I take one out. Okay, so I'm not cutting down that, but that's going to be the deep part. And make sure it can be seen so I can, when I'm going back there, there we go. So using an X-Acto knife or a very sharp knife, we're probably not going to go all the way through, but if you do, that's no big deal, because you don't want to lose the really small ones. The deep ones go deeper, and the small ones stay shallow. With the socket, you're going to make sure it goes all the way in, but you've got to be able to grab the tip to pull it out. Alright, so make it easy for yourself, but what's really nice about this, it expands. When you're in there, you can push aside and grab and you know, grab whatever you need out of there, so which is really good. I'm going to keep all these inside the racks, at the original racks, and do the same for each level. Now, what I did is, for example, this is the bottom. I lifted it up and I took the X-Acto knife and just shaving underneath as it comes up. Okay, I went thinner for the handle than I did for the top. And if you look at this is down further than this. Okay, I might bring this down a little bit further. Okay, because this is actually coming up right here. All right, it's up to you how technical you want to be, how deep you want it to be, but you got to remember you're stacking these on top of each other. This is going to be in the way a little bit, but that's no big deal because I'll probably make room for it on the upper one coming through from the bottom. Well, that's the bottom tray, and that's what it's supposed to look like. You know, most of it's down inside the foam. This is the only guy protruding up to really the highest. And what will happen is the other foam will come down on it. Now, there are times when I had to go way down, and you can see I'm at the table underneath. And that's why I want to put wood on the other side of it, or something on the other side of this to keep it stiff, and so it doesn't have to touch. Even on this guy right here, all right, I went down quite far. Not all the way, but right in there I did. So I'm thinking, you know, the road signs, I don't know if you guys have it. I never saw it in New York, but out here in Maryland, they put the road signs on the side of the roads during the weekends, and that kind of board might be good. I have some of it from my old business that I might actually use to do this with, because it's very light, and it does bend a little bit, but not much. I think it'll do good for what I'm going to do here. Well, I had to move the first tray away from there to work on another, and found out this is way too flimsy, and I had to get a cookie sheet to put it on. It's crazy. So what I did is I cut some boards. Okay, so the idea here is I'm going to move them on. I don't even know if I can actually get this in the video while I'm doing it, but we're going to give it a try. Set it down on the table. All right, so I'm going to take this over, bring this over onto this, and then slide this out from underneath. And it almost goes the full span. That's pretty nice. I think if I push it in, it does go through the full span. It pulled the foam out. Get all the scraps. All right, so now when I pick up on the piece of wood, it picks the whole thing up. So the idea is, my original idea is to go ahead and use a hole punch and punch a hole through here, two holes. Might be kind of close on that side, so I might go out or someplace to do it. And then having a string on top, while it's in the toolbox, pull it out with the string. Okay, so that's the idea with that. But the pieces of wood, this is, for this toolbox, it was 7.5 wide, 17 long. And I'm not worried about the holes, or this is reused wood, recycled wood. And it's, I think, a 1/4 inch plywood. It's red now. I'm going to paint it black, all right, because I just don't want, when we're pulling this out, to see red down there. Actually, that might actually be a good idea. I don't know. I need to paint these black because, you know, if you have grease on your hands or anything, you don't want to see the black of the skin all dirty. So that's the idea of painting all black. And it stops it from flaking too. Okay, we want to put 2 holes about right here. This is a hole puncher. And what we want to do is grab this and squeeze it down. We're going to lift up this. Lift this up and feed it into it. You need to make sure the bottom is going in as well as the top. Okay, we're going to go in about a 1/4 inch or maybe even a 1/2 inch inside, and make sure you're covered all the way through, and then punch. Okay, come up, lift that up, and pull it out. And there's a hole right there, and right there you can grab this guy and pull it, and with a little luck it'll all come out. Not all the time it happens, and I do see the wood down there, so that's a very good sign. Come over about, I come over about 2 inches off of the end. All right, that's my roughly about 1.5 to 2 inches off. You want to squeeze this guy down, lift up the thing there, slide it in, lifting up again. Make sure you get full coverage, top and bottom. A lot of times the bottom lingers out, so you need to get the whole thing in there. Take a look underneath. All right, and I'll tell you right now, mine is not up at the top, so I'm going to bring it in and tuck it in. All right, and go ahead and punch it, lift it up and pull it out, and there it is. See the bottom did not, it's on the corner here, so it didn't quite get the whole all the way through, so that's not a big thing. Don't worry about that. Flip this around and do the same thing on the other side. Hey everybody, it's okay to make your holes with your hole punch and drill your holes on the piece of wood before painting and before doing your cutouts. That way you have the holes already there and you know not to go in the area of the holes. Alright, so go ahead and do your cutouts here. Don't worry about lines like this because we're going to be spray painting this black. Alright, and then get all your holes done, your 4 holes. Get rid of all this, and then you're going to paint it all black on one side at least. Okay, take your board and turn it over, and you got to keep in mind that you got to turn this guy over too. All right, and try and put it on the edges, edges to edges, all the way around. All right, what we want to do is take a pencil, and even though we can't see the holes, we're going to push down and make an X. And carefully rotating it because you don't want to come off on them. You don't want to go off on those up there. All right, same thing here. When you take this off, you have pencil marks where you're going to drill the holes. All right, it's the 3/16 drill bit. Okay, make sure you have all your protection. Eye protection, the whole works, and go and go. Okay, I want to drill 4 holes. I don't think you need to see me to drill all 4 holes, but take a look on this other side of this. All right, see this guy right here? Don't worry about it because this white thing over here, the foam, is going to be painted black, and it's going to be over this, so don't worry about that at all. Go ahead and drill the other 3. Now if your holes came out like this, it's up to you if you want to paint them again. Really, at this time is when you're supposed to do your painting. I just jumped the gun since I was painting the rest of them. Don't worry about painting the other side, as I might have said before, I will say again. Next thing to do is go ahead and put your adhesive on there and stick this guy on there. All right, if it does curve like this is, put some weight on it to keep it steady. In this case, I have beveled edges here because this is the top one that goes in. The only way to fit it in is to cut the edges on that. So that's one way to line it up. You have to know which one is lined up because that's where your holes are lined up too. Well, I know it's dark, that's because they're black. Okay, so what I did, let me bring it out here a little bit. What I did is I spray painted the top of each one black, left the bottom white, and you see some of the red from the workbench. That's okay. The idea is that this is going to be glued down on a black board. Now, I didn't quite paint all of this black, but that's fine because the cushion is going to be on top of it. Now, the adhesive I'm using is Loctite adhesive, and it's good for wood, metal, and foam on there. So that's wood and foam. That's what I'm using. So I'm going to high initial tack, so don't get this on your fingers. All right, and what I'm going to do is spray it on the board and spray it on the foam itself and let it sit for about 30 seconds and put them together. All right, after you make sure it all fits, go ahead and put a coat on both sides and then press together. The instructions say it takes 1 minute for it to bond. So you have 1 minute to get it centered and know where everything goes. There is no moving around. It doesn't slide around. So you need to peel off, put on, peel off, put on. You want to take a shoestring, old shoestring that from a boot or something. You want to go up inside a hole. All right, so put the hog lid in a hole, and you can peel this back to find out where the hole is. In my case, it's way over here. All right, so you want to go up in that. It's way over there. I'm off. I have to make a whole new one, so it's going to be tough to do that while this is installed. But that's all right. It popped through just fine. Comes up. All right. What we want to do here at the very end is we want to tie this a single knot. Okay. All right. Kids, get your parents to do this. All right. Take a lighter, singe it so it doesn't come undone. All right, so if you're doing that for your parents, get an okay. All right, you want to bring this over, down inside this hole, and we're going to try and find, and I know it's over a little bit, but it's coming in right there, so I am quite a bit over. Way off on doing this, but that's okay. Lining this one up is not quite as good as my other ones. So we want to bring this through. I might have to redirect it, but that's okay. Push it through. Okay, and into the hole. If you want to spray some more adhesive there, you could to close that off. Bring it down. Now there's a lot of room here, so we want to bring it all the way down. Okay, and come out here about 2 inches and tie a knot. All right, keeping that about 2 inches. I'll pull it tight. And if you notice up here, it gives us 4 fingers in there. That's what you're looking for. There's 4 fingers in there. So take a pair of scissors or a knife. You want to trim this off. I have these really flimsy ones from my shop. Just take that and make it tight and then cut it. It takes a while with this. All right, parachute string would take a lot longer than that. All right, hold that away and light it up, and that melts it in and stops it from. Sometimes it catches fire. That's okay. All right, let it cool a little bit, and then pull it down. All right, that's how you do it. Do it to all sides. Okay, over here is probably going to be off on mine. That's why you want to line them up as best you could when you glue it on. All right, and this is ready for. Once I get the other one, this is ready to go in. All right, and this is my bottom layer, so I want to put some cushioning on the bottom to actually stop it from scraping up the inside of the toolbox. So there's my Velcro, and I figure the ropes right here, the depth of the ropes, is going to keep the ends from touching the ground. Okay, so keep that from. Now notice the wood is warped also, so I made it this way so when the tools are sitting in it, it's going to actually straighten the wood out. All right, so I'm ready to load this guy up. This is going to be my bottom one, and that's why I put the Velcro on there. So I'm ready to put tools in here, tools in the other one. This is going to go on top, and it goes on like this to where this goes. The ratchet goes into that hole and actually sits straight on there. And it should not. This rope should not interfere at all with anything, because there are things that rise up and keep it up. So it's going to work out very nice, I think. Well, this is all of them. Okay, like I said, this is the bottom one, and I did put some Velcro on the bottom, all right, to stop it from scraping up the bottom of the inside. Now, if you, when you're doing this, you have the strings, okay? If it's tight getting in, going this way, turn it sideways a little bit, and it'll sit right in. Like right on top here is a little tight, so that sits in there, okay? And then my next one that I had, remember I have that little hole on the bottom. So it's up here, and there's the hole on the bottom of the screwdriver. Now when this goes in, it doesn't matter which one goes in first, but I want to line up. If it wobbles, I'm not in that hole. So I need to line up and hit that hole. That's the only inconvenience part of this. And I can actually pick up and feel where the hole is. Okay, that one's in, and my next one is this one right here. Okay, and once again, slide sideways and go in. The tools you pick for each layer is up to you. I probably could have put better tools up on top. Now those are 17 inches long, each one of those. This guy is my last one. He's 16 inches long because of these brackets right here. So this guy's going in and slides in. Lots of room right there. That's what it looks like. This guy goes on top. I could probably put some cushioning in here so this doesn't get messed up again, and put other things that have some kind of cushioning. I like to put my flashlight up there. All right. My leveler can go up there. Okay, actually the leveler could probably go into the small thing over here. All right, and then this goes down, and we're finished. Nice way to store things. And I have a bag over here that I'm going to put my hammer in, my tape measure, and things I might not use all the time. Okay, so there's an idea for you: a bag and a toolbox in the kitchen closet, or not a kitchen closet, hall closet, and you have tools for your condo if you're downsizing, like I am. So subscribe and see a whole lot more videos. There's a ton of them, 1,300 videos, and it's constantly growing on my channel. Subscribe and have some fun.